Rock stars, hope you're doing well. I'm out in the garden today. Um, it's looking good. This is a very small part of it. It's a huge garden. Um, Today we're going to be speaking a little bit about building an audience for your MSP, how to attract in the clients you want to work with. Before we start the video, check out itrockstars.net if you're looking to generate more high quality leads for your IT business. So over the last 3 years, we have been helping the MSPs build audiences, and I want to impart some knowledge with you on how you can build an audience if you run a technology business and why you might want to build an audience in the first place. We'll start with the tactics of actually building an audience. So the first thing that I always suggest when um, when you're building an audience is defining who you actually want to work for, the types of businesses, the types of clients that you want to attract into your business. 9 times out of 10, I get back a few answers when I ask that of our members here at IT Rockstars. They've got some idea of who they want to do business with, but they don't actually know exactly who they want to do business with. And they can maybe tell me, off the top of their head, 3 or 4 types of businesses, but they haven't defined a list of businesses either locally or in a particular niche that would fit their criteria. So the first step that you want to make sure that you're doing when you start marketing is building an audience that you can educate with your marketing material on. And there's no better place to do that than on LinkedIn. It has to be the best source of data at the moment. You'll find that there are other sources of data that you can go to. There's some really useful sources of data. However, LinkedIn has the most live, up-to-date sources of data that you will be able to find, no matter what country that you're operating in. So, step one, define exactly the types of businesses that you want to do business with. Step two, get a 33-day trial of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It's free for the first 30 days. And that will help you whittle down in your local area. You can type in literally your zip code. You can type in the types of businesses you want to do business with, what sectors they're in. You can also type in the head count, so how many employees that business has. And in return, on Sales Navigator, you'll get back a list of search results with all of the businesses in that particular zip code or that particular area that are, open to investigating further. And that takes us on to our next step is, okay, once you've got this list of businesses, what's the next step? Well, it's identifying who the decision makers actually are within these businesses. Um, and 9 times out of 10, from my personal experience when I've done this in the past, and anytime that I sold managed services, it was usually the business owner made the number one decision on who was who was providing their IT support. Number two was someone like a finance director, and then further down the food chain, it was either the IT manager if it was co-managed services, or the office manager. But what I would suggest is that you always start at the top. So look for the CEO, look for the president of these companies that you're finding back on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And then comes the easy part, and that's actually to market to those businesses. So once you've built up your list of companies, found the decision makers in those companies, and then got the contact details for all of those decision makers, then you can start marketing to them. And I call that the targeted approach to marketing your MSP. Quite often you'll find all of the different tactics to use when it comes to marketing: SEO, Google Ads, social media marketing, LinkedIn. No matter what type of marketing that you're doing, it's not targeted. If you follow these 3 steps that I've just kind of explained to you here, and you start marketing to that specific list, and then you start working that list specifically, you're going to have a far higher chance of converting them. And anyone else that comes into that sphere of marketing that just so happens to see that marketing material it's just like icing on the cake. Okay, it's like the bonus. It's the Christmas bonus at the end of the year. And I mentioned that the easy part is the marketing part because there's so many different things that you can learn and implement in your business by watching things like the videos we have in IT Rockstars, our masterclasses, our roadmaps, but also just the marketing materials that are actually open to you. Again, places like IT Rockstars, there are other service providers. That's the easy part. It's actually that building that whole process of prospecting, marketing, and then sales, building that whole pipeline. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. Hope you found it useful, insightful. I'll see you.